the creator of this framework that is called WordPress MVC. And the last stream we did yesterday, we stopped when we were implementing or converting the template pretty docs into a WordPress theme. So the idea now is to continue this project, and where we left was the last thing we did is we added the navigation bar here, and we were able to add some fields in the customizer so we can easily change the stuff in the website. Alright, so I'm going to continue this. So now we have the header, we have the footer, right? Actually, we don't have the footer yet, but we're going to work on the footer later. So the next step will be, let's check out the index page here. Alright, so they have this script over here that does connect to Facebook. So that's something that maybe we can add later, and we should add this using inline templates or a different WordPress hook. So for the, oh, look at this, they have the header here, random logo page wrapper. So we have that information in our header. That's okay. Getting started is easy. We'll come back to docs. So I want to say, okay, so they have here, how are they hiding? Let's open this file over here. I want to see how are they hiding the menu. That's one of my questions. So let's go here. Let me open the index, and pretty docs. Their header is here, but somehow it's hidden. Let's check it out. So they do have the the script over here, and the header. Oh, this is the header, pretty docs. All right, perfect. So we're going to add this header. But the idea here is that I want this to be editable in what it is in WordPress, and being able to change this style over here and the content over here, right? And then maybe if the page content can be this one, and have the option to add these buttons over here. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to register a post type, or actually I'm not going to register post type. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and add a model to the page post type. So I can easily add custom variables to the page when editing them, and add this extra fields and extra things to the page. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my my command prompt, and I'm going to position myself to the location where the project is located. In this case, let me open the project over here. Includes WordPress content, themes. We're working on the WordPress website. Let's open the container. Let's copy this direction over here, this path, and then go to change directory. And here, what I'm going to do is PHP IUCO. If I'm not correct, it should be create. With add, you add hooks. With register, you can register widgets and post types, but the page post type is already registered with WordPress by default. And we need to create, in this case, a model. So create model. This case is a post model, so this will be the same. And for type page, and we're going to call it page. That's the name of the model that we're going to create. Alright, so the model has been created. So if we come back to our project and we look for the apps models library, you will see that we have the page over here. Alright, so we have the page here, and alright, I think this thing needed the post type. Let me rename it to page. So this is one of the bugs that I remember that this framework is on version version, what is this, version beta, so things are not completely yet. Is it like this? Yes, because I need to add now a protected type page. This way we're defining that our model will use the page post type, and that's what we want to modify. Alright, so now we can do something like let me check. Let me add more. So page model generated but without UCO. So let's add our what is this, our a little bit or documentation here. So this is the post type of the model since version 1, obviously. And there's a couple of great things we can do now. This is like the basic model, and what we're going to do now is we're going to create another variable that will be protected aliases, and here's where we're going to add our special values, or special variables to the project. So it will be models aliases, and since 101, and this is a. Alright, you might say that I should not comment for these purposes, but since this project is already on a repository and will be seen by everyone, I would like to keep a little bit of documentation well, I want to document the page. It's a good practice, and it's something that you guys should also do. So let's check out what information we want to have here. So probably we can add the title, the same on the same pattern that we added for the customizer, which will be the title highlight and the title in this case a bold. So we're going to add something like this: title highlight, and this we're going to store this title highlight in a meta value, in the post meta value. So in order to do that, we add the meta title highlight. Alright, and next what we're going to do is title bold, and title bold will also be stored on this thing like that. Then what we can do is this information over here, maybe we can use something like an editor to add icons and change color and sizes and stuff like that. So we have free roam to change the information over here. So this will be called title message. Title message. Alright, now what I want to do is this framework, WordPress MVC, lets you register the model, and by doing that it can create automation on processes. In this case, all the saving and all the things can be done within the, you don't need to create meta boxes and stuff like that. You can register this information in the model, and the project will do that by itself. It is easier to do it by registering, by using the command prompt and do it something like this: uco register type book, and it will register and create all the models and stuff like that. But since the page is already created, we need to do things a little bit manually. So what I'm going to do now, oh god, I close the command prompt. I didn't want it to do that. Okay, let's continue. So we have our type, our aliases, and we want to be able to, I'm going to register the what is this, the model in our main class, or the framework, so the framework can handle all the saving and all the meta boxes. You will see how. So I'm going to add a new line here, this add model, and the model that I'm going to add here is model page. So in this case, we're using this to add the model to the page. All right, so and now what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the registry. So one of the another protected variables that the model has is the registry, and the registry is the ones that set up all the information regarding the page. But WordPress is already doing that, so we don't want to mess up with that. So what we're going to do is type model registry, which is the one that affects the registration in 1000 and var. Alright, protected registry, and this will be blank. We don't want to add or interfere with stuff. Okay, before we do that, let's also indicate which controller is the one that's going to handle all the information in regards of what is this, in regards of all the processing, in regards of saving meta boxes. So we do registry controller, and the name of the controller that we're going to use is not created yet, but we're going to use page controller. We're going to create it right away. And the other important thing that we need to add is the registry meta box, because we're going to add a meta box that automatically will check on these values over here and create a form for us. So we do a registry meta box. As I said before, most of these things are created automatically when you register a new post type. It's much easier using a UCO. Probably we're going to add a couple of extra comments in the future, so this can be added very seamlessly. So we're going to add a title for the meta box, and maybe could be pretty docs details format, or maybe pretty docs format, yes. Then maybe we can we have to add the context, and the context, I think the default is normal, and then I think it's default, and then we have to add the priority. Which is, I think, let me check. You know what? Let me check WordPress documentation and see what we need to add here. Exactly. So it should be. All right. So what we need to do is let me check. Is the context, and okay, the context is normal and the priority is default. All right. This way. I'm not sure if we need to add the registry though. Alright, so this way we are indicating the framework that a page controller will handle all the savings for this model, and it should create a meta box called pretty docs format in normal and default, and this meta box will handle all the aliases, all the meta information. Alright, so now we are going to create the controller. So we come over here to our command line, and we type php ayuko create controller, and we're going to call to page controller, like that. Oh yes, should be like this. Controller, create controller, page. All right, so we come to the page controller, and this has to change because we are going to use the controller's model controller as controller. Now this is something that we will automate as well in future versions, and we need to define now is we do a protected model, and the model we're going to use is the same as we have to add all all the, what is this, all the namespace is models, is all WordPress MVC website models and page. That's the name of the model. All right, so model to control. Since version 1000, and this should be a string. All right, and we're going to copy also this information over here. Now I'm not sure this will work right. Let me check, because maybe I might have to update the package so it supports so it also supports the models that doesn't require registration. So we come over here and let me check this information here. Let me open the demo and let's go to the dashboard. So let me refresh this. We didn't have any error. Oh, so we created 2 pages, you see. So this is not right. This is not right. We might have to do this by manually, and this is something that I don't want to do. But we have to. Right, we might have to do this manually then. Jesus, no, I'm going to release a new package later, so I can fix this. So by the timing, let me comment this, and this will work like it should. But at the moment, we should not focus on that. Let's add the structure. All right, so we come to our structure in the index page, which is the one that's going to handle the page. Okay, actually the index is for, if I'm not correct, this will be, okay, so we might have to add a different page template for the home page, and the index will be the one that will have the blog for the website. So let's create a new page here, and it should be called, let's save it as page in home. So we can differentiate the home page from the index. Right. So we need to add a special tag on the what is this, on the pages, so it recognizes as a page template. Let me check, create. Exactly what we need to do. Page log, page log. Our maybe rename index, because this log is going to be index, like that, page index, and yes. All right, and this is the code that we need to add. Rename home page index. Okay, better like this. All right. All right, and we're going to add, obviously, now maybe we can add the package WordPress MVC website, and let's add this information over here. All right, so we have our template here, and our page template should, if you look towards this index, should have this special header, you see. So let's copy this information, paste it over here. But wait a second, there's a thing here, because what we want to do is we want to be able to load our model here, and we want to use the MVC in this case, so we can load the model and load the page and load all the extra variables that that the page has. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is actually we're going to change this, and we're going to call to our theme. So to do that, we call to theme, right? That's the global name of our theme. We call to view, and we're going to display pages dot homepage. Now actually we're going to call to the controller, and the controller will handle this. So we're going to call it like this. We need not to return it because it needs to render the view. So you want to render the view, we should call to void like this. And we're going to do this with the page controller as well, page controller. And the function that will render this information will be page controller, and probably we might want to call to the render. That would make sense. And you can close it like this. You can see the render function is not on page controller, but we can add it. So what we do is we come over here, PHP IUCO, create controller, page controller, but we're going to add the function render. Right, so if we come to the page controller, now we have a render function over here. It was added by IUCO. So what we're going to say to this is renders the page. We should change it, because here we're going to render the homepage template. So render homepage. Be much understandable. Renders the home page view since version 1. Alright, so what we're going to add here is very simple. So we want to load obviously the model, so we're going to call to use we're going to use this information over here. I think we can add it differently though. So we have the page directly, and we do this page equals to page find, and we want to get the ID, get the ID. This way we get the ID of the page we want to render, and we return this view get, and we're going to get a view, in this case pages dot homepage, and we're going to pass by in the pages dot homepage, we're going to pass by the page model page, and we pass this page, right? It should be page. Now we can make it this easier and more effective. We can skip the creation of a variable and pass it like this, and it's much easier. You see, now our page is much cleaner, and we have the logic of loading the page inside the controller and not in a template, which is better. All right, now what we do is we're going to add or create a view. For that, so we do create PHP IUCO create view, and we said we wanted to create pages dot home page view. All right, I messed up here. Should be like this. All right, so the view is created. So if I come to my assets, go to views, pages, you will see the home page here. Let's delete this one. So now I have the pages over here. So let's copy what we were doing in the index, which is this header over here. So we'll add this header over here, and we'll already have access to no, this Twitter thing. Now we're going to remove this social container for the time being, and probably add it later. And we're going to change this information here. So we know by default that our model, or in this case page, which that's the variable that we're passing by to the view. If we go to the controller, let me close everything. So if we go to our view, we're passing by a page attribute here, right? And the page model, what does is it creates this aliases. So I can use this field over here like this, and it will display the title highlight. Same as if I go over here, title docs, bold, it will display the meta information stored on the title bold. It's like a reaction, it's reactivity. So the alias, what does, it creates a dynamic property for the model page, and what it does, it accesses to the meta information stored for that particular post and gets it as a property. So for you, it's easier to just call it like this. Same as this, you can see you have the tagline here, and we're going to change it to post message. Actually, we should use the tagline. And instead of title highlight, we can change this to header highlight, which makes sense. And header highlight, header tagline, and header bold. All right, so in our properties for this, we change this to header. Since we haven't added the form yet, I'm not going to work that tomorrow probably. You will see later how this will be automated. For the time being, we will not have to make changes to the framework, and like that it will work. And then, so we have the header already set up. So if we refresh the page, let's see what is happening. This is not the page, sorry. Is this one. Visit the page, visit the site. Alright, so what's happening here is that I haven't set up the default settings for the page. So I come here to settings, and I come to, I think is general. If it's not general, it should be on writing, I think, no, reading. Right, so we're going to have a static page for this, and we are going to create a new page, and we're going to call it index. So that will be our home page. So we call it index, like that. All right, so we know the WordPress MVC index is the home page. So this will be the home page. So we save this information, and we change this to the template that it should use the home page template. So we save this information. We go back to our settings, and I think it was reading, right? And on reading, we change to a static page where front page will be index, and the post page, we're not going to do any post page because the post page will be loaded by default with a specific template. You should not have a page. Alright, so let's save these settings. Alright, so if we come back here and we refresh, the index page will be, now we're getting an error. It appears like we have the header, we have a blank. Why are we having a blank? Header, center, theme, tagline, branding, theme, tagline. Oh, I see what's happening here. It's very easy what's happening here. Alright, so what's happening is that we're not loading the header, and we need to load it. And we need to load the header and the footer. So that's very easy solution. So we come over here and type PHP WordPress header, if I'm not wrong, and here WordPress footer. Let me double check this by going to 2016, and we can check this here is to get our get header and get footer. All right, so those are the functions. Forgive me if I got it wrong first time. Get footer. So if we save this, let's refresh now, and now we have the menu. Now we have the div page wrapper, right? We have the header and the div and all the information. We have the tagline and stuff like that. So how can we be sure that we're loading the actual page? What we can do probably is call to the pre-tags over here and do a print r php print r of page. That way we can easily see if we are loading the page or not. Refresh this and you can see we're loading a page, and the load page is the index page, and the content over here is post content. Where is the post? Oh, this will be the home page. So it is loading correctly. The model, as you can see, is already reflecting the page. We don't have to do anything. When we do this find over here, what it does, it uses WordPress functions. The model uses WordPress functions to load the information to the model, and that's being passed by to this information over here. All right, so let's continue. So we will have now we have this section for the cards. All right, so the section of the cards, let's copy this information here, and we're going to paste it over here. Now, so the cards have a title, so we're going to add to the page cards title. Same as we did over here. All right, I'm going to add maybe like this. Meta cards title, like that, and this will cards title, and so the template for this in our home page, we're going to display page cards title, like that. Then we have an introduction. As you can see, let's see the template and see how it looks like. So we said that all this information over here, we are going to add it with the editor. This will be the content of the page. So we, instead of using all this information here, there's a button here for downloading the theme. Alright, so instead of using this information over here, we're going to call to PHP the content. This way we can display the page content. We can either do that, or we can call to page content like post content. But there's I think we cannot filter it, post content, and that will filter the content, same as the content. Let me check if that's the name of the variable. Post license. No, actually it doesn't. Alright, so let's go back and display it like this, the content. Alright, why is not displaying the content? It's very easy, because we have to do a while. We need to do the post, and that's information to use these functions. Same as in order to use this function, in order to use this function, you need, we go back to the index template that we have over here, we need to do this: if half post, while post, blah blah blah, the post, and then we can use the content. If we do not add these tags over here, then this function over here will not work. Alright, so maybe we want to do that. Maybe we want to add either do that or call to the filtered property. Now let me check what's the name of the property. I don't remember well the name of the property, so let me review it, and just in a couple of seconds I will have it right back. It says I have no internet connection though. What's happening? Alright, let me check. See here. We're going to go to vendor 10 quality MVC. Then it should be on models, post model, and we go to post content filtered. This is the one that we want to use. So we come over here and we do this $page post content filtered. So we refresh this and we're not displaying it. Why this is not being displayed? Items card, introduction. No, it's because we need to add the while. That's why. Yeah, sorry guys, forgot we need to add this line. So let's go to index. Let me copy this. Let me add it here. Before the section, we're going to wrap up the section with this. So if, while, blah, 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 we have this, and the other line will be these two over here. Section. We're going to move all this one tab so it's readable. The page wrapper. We're not using the page wrapper. I don't know why I added here. Let's remove the page wrapper. All right. I'm going to remove this column and this column. Are not really needed. So now I can use the content instead. So PHP the content. Now if we refresh this, now this is the home page. Now it is reflecting the content. Perfect. All right. Demo, start construction. All right, so what we want to do next is we're going to create the cards based on a variable as well here. That is going to be called, so we're going to save the cards in a raw, actually like this, cards. And this will be saved in a function called meta cards, and cards will be saved there, and all the information will be saved as an array probably. So what we're going to do is here we're going to add a if, PHP if, first of all, pages has cards, and we have more than one card, then we want to proceed on displaying the cards. That's the only reason why we're going to display the cards. So we close up this thing over here, which is the cards, and we do a PHP and if. All right. So we have this, and if you can see, these cards are repeated every time. So we're going to close these cards, are this, and we're going to wrap this thing into a for each loop. We're going to do this. PHP for each, in this case, for each page cards as card, and we're going to do the loop for this. We're going to repeat this information over here. So each one of the cards we're going to add to our page should have a color. You can see it changes depending the color. So maybe you can add something like this. We're going to echo the card. Since this will be saved as a JSON format, I think it should be called like this: card color. Then we have the card icon, which is a fun awesome icon. Then we have the card. It's not like that. Sorry, it's like we should add this text. Card icon. Then we have the card title, card intro, and card URL. Right. Okay, so we have this information here, which will make a lot of sense. So if we refresh now this page, you see that there are no cards at all. We have some errors. So undefined variable pages. Oh, why is pages? Oh, it's page, not pages. My bad. All right. So obviously it's not displaying anything because we don't have that yet. We might want to add a download thing though. So we are going to also do an if here for a page. So PHP if page has a download link, download URL, then we want to display the download button. So let me arrange this better so you can see this. Targets a blank, it targets a link, it adds this download stuff over here. It says download now. So let's remove this. We're going to echo here our page download URL. Obviously this is not created yet, so we're going to add this to our aliases. So we come over here to download URL, and this should act as a meta download URL. Now we should probably also add the language tags here. So in order to do that, you do something like this. Download now. Wordpress MVC. Alright, that's the language domain. Alright, so if we refresh this, now we should not have the button anymore because it's gone, because we don't have the information set on the meta. That's why that information is not being displayed. But the page is there. Alright, so we have the home page ready. What we're going to continue doing is we are going to add the footer, because there's a footer over here. If you see the index, they have this footer and a container that says the designer, blah blah blah. So let's copy this and let's go back to our footer that we created previously, and we're going to add this. I think it's after the wrapper. If not, I'm not correct. Let me double check. Yeah, so the page wrapper ends and they add that information there. So we're going to do that the same. So we have the wrapper, then we add the footer, and it has footer, blah blah blah, and we have this small thing, copyright. Alright, so we might want to change this information, because obviously we want to give credits to the designers because they designed the site, obviously. But we might also give credits to ourselves because we are doing the whole templating, right? So we're going to do this: spawn alright, so we're going to use tags, right, to make it more standard. So we're echo tags developed by, and we're going to use developed by I'm going to use a link here, http 10quality.com 10 quality developed by 10 quality space, and obviously designed by our friends over here. Designed by, just remove the heart, designed by Zeno Live, for developers, which we are. We are the developers. Alright, let's change this a bit. Alright, so develop by blah blah blah, designed by blah blah blah. So let's copy this obviously here. Designed by bam, and we're going to add maybe a copyright thing. So it will be add copyright the year, probably maybe we can display it like this, equals to date, and we're going to only display the year. This is a PHP function, by the way. Copyright 10 quality. I'm going to use like this, 10 quality. 10 quality software studio designed by, and maybe you can add all rights reserved thing. So dot oh yeah, let's echo with this. Dot all rights reserved. Alright, so if we refresh this, let's see our footer. Let's say it's 2016, 10 quality software development studio. Designed. Okay, we need to add the by. Designed by. Alright, so that's the copyright. Actually, you know what, maybe we can change this. Maybe we can add a different thing. Maybe later we can maybe add a link where we can specify that this guy designed, but we did the framework is actually part of our development, same as the development of the theme. So probably that would change later. So for the time being, it's okay. Just for purposes of showing information. All right, so we have the whole structure already done for the homepage. Now what we need to do is we actually need to add the CSS information for this. So I'm pretty sure this information they are using less for this, which is stored here, less base. That is the page wrapper and everything. So we're going to do the same, and what we're going to do instead of that, I talked to you last week. No, sorry, yesterday I talked to you about that in your projects you should have the assets on a different folder called assets, not in the app. Here's where all the PHP information is located. Here's where the assets HTML, name it HTML, CSS, JS are located. So we have our views and we have our raw and images. So we want to add less here. Now, if I remember correctly, I downloaded on our package. I used package to download. Oh, actually, I haven't. So I need to download Go less in order to be able to add less tasks into this. So I do this by coming here, where this is, coming here and saying npm. Before that, let's double check the gulp package. So we come over here, we say gulp less. Alright, so we have gulp less, and let's see if that's the one that will render the less files. So let's see, version 3. What this does is you can all the less files like this in pipeline. Alright, this is exactly what we need. So we are going to do this npm install gulp less, but we're going to add a additional task here. Okay, npm let's type it, npm install gulp less and dash save. So this way we save it as a requirement or dependency in our project. So this will start downloading, and we'll have that package ready. So what we do is we need to add these two variables as they are saying. So we come over here to our gulp, where is it? Gulp file, and we define it. We prepared it by defining it here. So we are going to add a new version of the file, and we're going to say that we are adding this since this is added since version 1.0.1, same as gulp path. And we can add custom task here. But there's something I want to do. I want to be able to process my less files before the app CSS is generated. So in order to do that, what I do is actually I do the following. Okay, wait. First, let's copy this task over here. So we're going to call gulp task less, which is okay, and this source will change. So as reference, what you can do is you can come over here and look for the gulp package that is the gulp package that is installed in your installation. If you come to node models, you will see the gulp WordPress MVC over here and the library. This is an example of the how is this being processed. We can copy this information for the where's the SAS? The SAS is like this. So we can copy this information for our less task. So less will be stored in assets raw less, and is ends like less, like this. Next we check the pipeline, where pipeline only says less, like that. On error, let's remove this. Our destination will be assets raw CSS, as you can see. Alright, and the next thing I want to do is if you can see on our MVC here, before it runs the styles thing, that is the one that compiles the apps.css file, it calls to the configuration preparation thing, which is as an array, and this should be located in our this is a pre-step, and this should be located in our package.json. So we come our package.json, and we're going to add probably here a new step that is called pre-step, and it should be an array like this. And maybe we can maintain as a pre-step the one defined for SAS. So we can add maybe the SAS, and the second pre-step could be less. So this way SAS is going to be compiled first and then less. Alright, so that's the way we define this information. So let's give it a try. If we add let's see, if we add the less file, let's include the base less file that this project had. So this one, let's copy all of this, let's go here, let's add a new file, paste it, save it as base.less. We save it like that, and we come over here and do gulp, and that by default it should process SAS less CSS, everything, and should create the files that we need. Okay, the first time might take a little while it loads all the packages and stuff. I think has changed. Oh, this is not updated. Wow, should be like this. Yeah, like this it should be. What? Gulp WordPress configuration. Wow, I have not the latest version of this. All right. What? Gulp configuration, and this is on website models. Gulp configuration. What happened here? Something changed. Let me close everything instead of the gulp. You can see there are some issues with the using gulp fire website task default is not on your gulp fire. It is not because this package, the package over here, is the one that creates it. No models, gulp, Wordpress MVC, and we have the default over here. Oh, actually, yeah, there's no gulp dev. Oh, you should come to gulp dev. This is the package that we need to run. All right, forget about it. Should be gulp dev. All right, you see, so you run less SAS, less scripts, SAS again, and scripts. All right, so this is okay. So I have to fix this so it doesn't run the things twice. So it runs that, and let me check if the assets are right. So it seems like this is not running less files. Why is it? It's not compiling less, because let's do gulp less. Right, potentially unhandled rejection variable color. All right, it seems like colors are defined in a different file. Maybe. Okay, so it has styles less, landing. Okay, all this. Oh, I see. So they have the mixins here. All right, so let's copy the mixins first. We should copy all of these files. Let's copy all of these files. So open containing folder. Let's copy all of these last files. We come back. Our assets. Let's go back to our project. Oh God. Let me change this. Open containing folder, and let's paste this files over here. Replace files here. And it seems like the default one, the one that creates everything, is this one, styles.less. So what we're going to do is we're going in our gulp file, we are going to say that we're going only to convert style.less. So we do gulp less. All right, seems like it worked. Assets raw CSS. Why it's not generating this CSS file? There's something we need to add here. Paths. Oh, do we need to add it like this? Less source map, call destination. Assets raw CSS. We want to add the thing here in this CSS folder, but it's not creating a CS folder. Go pipe last. We need to add any extra thing. Assets raw last. Now let's see what happens if we add it like they are saying that we should add it like this. Less slash gulp less. Oh, there's a rejection. No, it should be like this, pretty much. Style less. That way it's reading it, but it's not creating the file. Should we add the file like this? Style.css. Oh. Uh-oh, my PowerShell went down. Let me open it again. What happened? Right, like that. Go less. And we still don't have it. Why is that? Why? Raw. It's not creating, it's not compiling the files. Okay, so we either add the oh, here, no, it's not this style. Could also copy this and add it. I want to use less. I want to make sure that we can have the less files like that. There's something we're missing here. Cop destination, public CSS, write source map. I don't want to create source maps. That's browser's last two versions. Pipe. What could we add? What could we change? Pipe less. You can change this. Add folder, parts, open containing folder. Just copy all except for styles and import to parts slash mixins parts slash default parts slash or stuff like that, and we do it like they were saying we should do it, like that. Assets raw less dot less parts dot css. Let's do it again. Alright, now it seems that it's working. CSS styles. Now it works. Now it is creating the styles like that. And but it's giving an error. Text color is undefined in file base less. Alright, why? Let's review this. So less color in base, text color is missing because text color is defined here, right? Text color is here. Okay, so we'll have less here, base. Okay, so what if, oh, I see what's going on. Okay, so let's change this code file because this over here will go to the subfolder, so we don't want that. So let's run it again like this. Let's delete this first to make sure that it is being created the right way. Alright, so now it is creating the thing. Good. Now if I run again gulp dev, it created me the app.css, which has all the things that I want to. You see? All right, perfect. All right. So it was a little bit tricky, but it worked at the end. So now I can easily just jump into the list files on raw and change the actual parts of the template, or even the colors, just coming over here, and they will be changed just by clicking on the go dev, and it will compile them. What it does, it will compile them first here in the raw CSS files, and then all the CSS files that are in set, or that are in this folder, will be concatenated and grouped in just one file called apps.css that is directly on assets. Is this one. So actually this file you should not add it to the repository or whatever, because it's generated and compiled based on the raw files that are located in the raw folder. As you can see in the GitHub, the assets, the CSS and the SJS are not added to repository because of that, because these are compiled files that are being generated with gulp. Alright, so we have our raw files here, and what I need to do is I need to add a hook to load these files over here. Now, I'm probably going to add a new function in the release version of the site. So by default, if there's a app.css or app.js, they are loaded by the site by default. But since that is not added, it's not included in the site yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it manually. So to do that, I'm going to do a PHP ayuko, and we're going to add that to the theme controller. So ayuko create a controller. Now we're going to add an action. Add action WP and Q scripts. If I'm correct, this in Q scripts, and will be handled by theme controller add function in Q. Alright, so we come to our theme controller, which is, where is it? Is node assets app controller theme controller, and we have our Q here. So we call here to WP and Q and Q's style in this case, and we're going to call it app, and should be in assets URL, and the as URL will be on css/app.css based on this file over here, and doesn't have any dependency, and the version for this should be version 1.0.0. Alright, now let's refresh and see what happens. Alright, what's the function WP and Q style? Oh, okay. And oh yeah, it's not Q, it's NQ file. Alright, let's refresh it again. Controller assets. I think it's asset URL, not assets. Alright. Okay. But it's not including the file. We had an error. Why? Let's check. Controllers, CSS. Alright, the asset URL is not returning the actual URL. But this week we can solve this by using this. Get Wordpress get directory URL. Alright. Get template URI. This, as I said mentioned before, this will be automatic. This step should not, you should not be thinking on doing anything with this step. Will be this will be automatically. Asset slash CSS app CSS. Let's refresh and see what happens. Nice. So seems like the site's working fine. Now there's a very weird padding that I'm not liking. I don't know why there's a padding here. So the first thing we wanna change is the padding. So you can see this is, oh, I know why this is not working. I know why. It's because this uses extra files such as Bootstrap and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you how we can inject Bootstrap and other dependencies to our project. Very simple. So if we go to, let's close everything that we have. So we included all the CSS that comes with the package, and that's working fine. What we're going to do now is we are going to go to our index here on the HTML and see which files it is loading. It is loading Font Awesome, Elegant Font, and is loading Bootstrap, right? So what we can do is we can go to Bootstrap here, Bootstrap, GitHub, the project itself, and you will see that there's a package. We can include this with npm. So we're going to install this information. Oh, there's Bootstrap 4 already, the alpha version. Wow, I'm not sure if I want to use the alpha version though, because it's not ready yet, is it? No, it is not. We should probably skip this information and use the version 3. Yes, we probably should do that. Alright, it's looking nice though. This version is looking very nice. Alright, let's go back to this. I want version 3. So in order to get version 3, get the latest release. The release version is 4. They are going with 4. This is already an alpha version. Wow. No. We need the version 3. It's version 3.3.7. Alright, so we do this. npm install. We come over here. Our thing. npm install save. Let's see which version npm installs in our project. Version 3.3.7. So that's perfect. So what happens right now is that this is being installed in inside. Where is it? It's being installed in in here. It's been installed. Where am I? Let's look for the project. Okay, so if we go to our project directory, it's been installed in Node Models. These are dependencies, Bootstrap, you can see. So I have to do a couple of things here, alright, to make this work. I need to load the CSS, which is in distribution, and we can load the Bootstrap thing. I think is only the Bootstrap. I think it's Bootstrap CSS that we need to do. We can also load the minified version. And we need to add that to our gulp file. And we're going to create a new custom gulp. If I'm correct, we could use, how would I use path like this? Let me check. I'm learning stuff. Gulp less models, less gulp util. Yes, I need one of these libraries, which is no, I don't need it actually. Let me see, how can I copy information? Build files, source, scope, destination. Alright, so it's very easy, very straightforward. Alright, So we're going to copy. So we have our less function. Let's add a new function before less. We're going to copy gulp dot task. Okay, I create a new task here. We're going to call CSS and CSS dependencies. This will be a function, and here we want to indicate less, that before it runs less, we want our task to run CSS dependencies. So this runs in order. So we're going to copy the copy task that I have here, the example. Where is it? Is over here. Go back to gulp. We're going to copy this example. But what we want to copy is want to go to /node models, and it's bootstrap / distribution dist /css, and we're going to copy bootstrap and .min.css, and we want them to be copied to assets raw /css. Right, so now if we run gulp less, you'll see that it first will run the copy thing, which is CSS dependencies, then the less. And what this happens is that it will copy a version of node models, and it will paste it on your assets raw CSS. You'll see the bootstrap min over here. So when we run gulp dev, which actually compiles the information, it will include bootstrap as part of the app.css over here. Look at this, CSS app, and it has bootstrap and it has the theme in just one file. So we can now refresh this and bootstrap will be included in our project. Great. So one step is done, as you can see. That's perfect. WordPress MVC. Oh, I don't know why this is. Oh, yeah. Alright, WordPress MVC. Alright, now what we want to do is we should add the other packages. So let's look for Font Awesome icons, and they have a GitHub project as well, which should be located at Font Awesome 5. Oh, that's awesome. We go to the project over. Where's the GitHub project? And get started. Blog, license, community. Where's the GitHub project? Let's check. GitHub project. They should have a npm. Pretty sure. Let's do it like this. Npm install font awesome save. Oh, hopefully we'll get version 5 though. Oh, version 5.7.0. It's okay. We have almost the latest release, and we're going to do the same on our gulp file. We're going to add a new line, and we're going to check where this font awesome is located. Now for font awesome, we have fonts as well that we need to copy in our project. So we go to, where is it? Font awesome. Okay, here it is. Font awesome. CSS fonts. It also has the last, but we don't care about the last at this point. So font awesome. There's no distribution. It goes directly to CSS, and here in CSS is font awesome min. So font awesome minified. Now we need to maybe you can change the name of this task. So it will be npm css, or how can I injected, or better, injected css. And we need to also add the injected fonts. And these are located here, fonts. We want everything in this folder, and we want this to be in raw. Actually, this to be in fonts directly, because this is not raw. And we want to run first injected fonts and then injected CSS. So if we run now gulp dev or gulp less, let's gulp less first. It will run inject fonts, inject the CSS. Now what is going on here? Alright, so what happened is, if we go to our assets now, we will have a fonts folder with all the fonts that come from Font Awesome. We have the CSS, it doesn't have anything, and in our raw folder we have Bootstrap, Font Awesome, and styles, right? So if we run gulp dev, this is wrong. Yes, gulp dev. This will compile all our CSS files into just this file over here. So let's double check. If we go to our CSS, app CSS, it should have Bootstrap. It has now Font Awesome, and you have our styles, which is working fine, better and greater. Now the other thing that these guys are loading, let's double check this. I don't want to overload this with which is elegant font. Okay, elegant font. What is elegant font? These are icons. It's a package icon. I'm not sure if I want to use them because I'm already using Font Awesome and I don't want to overload my page with icons. So this, but right now this is okay. We're loading Font Awesome, and yeah, that's okay for me. That's fine. That's enough. All right. So you see now we have a pretty looking site that looks and resembles a lot to the site that we had here on the index. Let's see, index, which is open parts less prettify, right? Which is this one. You see, the only difference is that when we are on the home page, we don't want to display the title, and actually in the title we want to make this a space shorter. So we do this by going to our header, which is this one, and removing that spacing over here. So this way we refresh this, we'll have all of them in just one line like this, which looks much better. You see? Alright, next step is we don't want to display the header if we are in the home page. So in order to do that, we go as well to our header, and we only want to display the header if, right? So we do PHP if is home. That's the only flag that will indicate it. Oh, actually it's wrong. If this is not home, then display the header. If it's home, then don't display it. Alright, so it's not, it's home. Alright, so let's check WordPress check if is home page. Is home, is front page. Oh, is front page. Let's check. Is front page displays your latest post, or when is the stat? Okay, so this is the function, is front page. All right, we did it. Perfect. Cool. All right, so let's do the next step. And actually, if we try to load the blog, I think it's blog, it will display the information like this. All sample. Let's go to the sample page. Now you can see the sample page needs rework because it's not in a container. It's not holding anything. This seriously needs a rework, and probably going to do that later because there are a lot of font. There are a lot of examples of pages we can use. I think it's quick start or start, the one I want to use, which has all this information over here very quickly, very beautiful implemented, and yeah, this is exactly what we want to use. Actually, we want to use also this button section, or maybe we can add a tutorial for each one of these pages. Alright guys, so this will be the tutorial for today. As you can see, we were able to change completely we were able to create the site, or add the CSSs and stuff like that to the page, and it's working fine. We were able to customize the page, use a model, stuff like that. I will work tomorrow in adding the features. All the little changes and bugs I saw in the code, and add the future, so I can easily modify this information using the existing model, as I told you before. And you will see how easy it will be for you guys to edit and create content for the page, or customization for the page. Okay, that's it for now, and I hope you like this like this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time in the next part. Take care.